Hello, it's the third unbroken day since it all started. This long serialized session with architect Itoro Ezekiel Nyak-Etok, the alternate chairman of the federal government 10,000 affordable homes project, the CEO of Novon Consults Limited, located in Abuja, Akwa Ibom, and other parts of the country. Man who has consulted for different state governments on housing schemes, and who is at the moment on the payroll for the Niger Delta Development Commission as a consultant on housing. What more would you need for a credential of an architect than this? And given the fact that he's still going places, going international, we only pray that God should continue to hold him strong and keep him for us. It's our pleasure to have you back, Architect Nyak-Etok. Thanks for your time.
Thanks so much.
Time for politics.
I'm ready for you.
So much.
If you're ready for me.
I'm ready for you.
Okay.
Now, the political cloud, the cloud has been gathering. So much has happened. A lot of comments have been made as we draw close to a period that INEC expects all the parties to churn in their candidates, for the general election. The tempo is rising. The political temperature seems to be on the high. And I know you're watching it very closely. You may be in Abuja, but you've never lost, steam of what's happening back home. What do you foresee? 2015 is already here with us, because if you ask me, this is the deciding year. 2014 is actually the deciding year. What do you foresee in all of this?
The very first thing that we must understand as a people is that we will get what we give, what we sow. It's extremely important. As we try to decide who to support, on which side to pitch our tent, our maneuverings and everything, let us know that whosoever we elect, we choose as our governor, is that person, that individual that we are stuck with for the next 4 and possibly 8 years. And let us have a conscience, and let our conscience judge us that we have done what we believe is right to do. And we say, God, judge me as an individual for my decision, and deal with me according to my honesty, according to my sincerity, according to my personal conviction. Let me reap what I have sown. Now, we have a lot of people on the block, and I want to be as direct and as blunt as possible. Number one, I think it is silly for people to say, because you are from government, because you are from the governor, I will not vote for you. I think it's a height of irresponsibility. What if it's from the government? It is also, I do not know, I want to be less I want to be softer on those who say, because it's from governor, I'm going to support. Maybe because they believe that the governor is right. Maybe they believe that they have submitted their will to the governor, and whichever side the governor says they should go, they will go. If it's born out of trust in the governor, if it is born out of the fact that I have confidence in this man, it's like you carry your voter's card and give somebody and say, hey, Itoro, thumbprint for me. I say, who do I say choose something? You understand? I trust you. If it is born out of that, beautiful. God will honor your sincerity of heart, because I trust this man, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you blindly follow then for goodness sake, see work if you are come. Take whatever comes out of it. I have looked at the spectrum of the people available for me as an individual. And I'm actually looking, and one of the things you noticed when I was running for politics, I had was that I was going to stop the night culture in politics. If I was the governor, that business was going to be between 8 o'clock and 5:30. By 6, every man goes back to his family. This issue of lying to your wife, I mean, there was a story of a man who told the wife that he was going to with the governor and all those things. Unknown to the person, the governor was in a live program in Abuja. So he went out.
The wife was
the wife was watching. So the wife kept quiet. When he came back around 4 a.m., how was the meeting? His Excellency, there were so many people before I saw the man. He took so 4 o'clock, you're just coming back. Yes, but I've discussed with him. What did he say? We discussed blah blah blah. And the woman kept quiet. The next day, she just said, that live program, His Excellency gave a very beautiful speech. And she didn't need to say more than that. And the guy got the job. But on a serious note, I think the time has come when we need to rearrange our political culture to help the decaying family structures that we have.
Okay.
And also give room for responsible women to be part of. Women are causing change all over the world. And we need them here in Akwa Ibom State. But when your meeting must be at 4 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., you disenfranchise not just the women, but the state of this caliber of people that have the capacity to move us forward. What am I saying? These are all my friends. These are all my people. Okay? And whoever amongst them emerges as a governor, I can never be a nobody. But it is more than that. We need to come back and assess each of them as an individual. The governor has every right to bring out anybody he wants. He has if I was a governor, I would be interested in who succeeds me. And if your grouse is that because I need a governor, it's not good enough. On the other hand, I'm not going to swallow him because he's from the governor. With every sense of responsibility, with all due respect, I'm going to sit down and look at him. And like you've heard me say, I've got some good things about each of these people. I believe that they are eminently qualified to be there. But I'm going to look at the X factor. That X factor is how God-fearing is all these people. I'm going to sit down and ask myself, how God-fearing is each of them? For real. I'm going to do a little groundwork so that my first statement to God is that I supported this man because he fears you. And I did work because we're going to have moments of pleading before God. Moments are going to come after 2015 when we need, there was this woman that the man of God prayed for, her, the child, and when the child died, she just carried the child, didn't look at anybody, went to the man of God and said, the child you gave me. We are going to have moments of going back to God. And I'm going to say, God, you know that I supported this man because I believe that he fears you. If this man is not looking at me, I don't care. I'm not going to hold him responsible. I'm going to hold you, God. And you've got to prove yourself to me. Because I believed you. I put you first in my consideration. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to look at his character, his attributes. To some people, some things don't matter. But to me, certain things matter. Number one, amongst the things that matter is that the office of a governor, you see, in the Bible it says, don't give the office of a bishop to a novice. The office of a governor is not an office for grandstanding. It's not an office for show. It's not an office for, it's an office for service. You are a chief servant. And it's at this point we must change our mentality. We must respect our governor, but we must not deify a governor. You deify any man, you set that man against God, because God said, my glory I share with no man. We must respect our governor, but we must not deify our governor. We must let him know that he is a human being. He is only a chief amongst equals. We must bring our governor to a level where he sees the seat of office as a seat of service. Because I've always said a governor is a chief executive, a governor is not a monarch. A monarch is a lord, is, need them. But a chief executive is a man who rolls up his sleeves and gets down to work, because this is business. So we must ask ourselves exactly what we want. So I'm going to look at your maturity, your attitude. I'm going to look at your disposition. Are you a man with a humble disposition, or are you a proud, cocky, arrogant fellow that power will get into your head and you turn tiger and go wild and everybody's like a footstool to you? I'm going to look at your personal quality, attribute and character.
Okay.
I'm going to look at your understanding of the issues of this state. That is why the time has come when whoever wants to be a governor should start to articulate his programs and his agenda and subject himself to scrutiny. So I'm going to look at your dream, your vision for this state. I believe that after the massive infrastructural development that has been put in place by the present administration, whoever is coming should play down on infrastructural development and play up human capacity development. I'm going to look at what a humanist you are. I'm going to look at how much you are willing to consider the affairs of the man on the ground and put it far and above personal ego, put it far and above your personal desires and expectations, your whims and caprices, and know that you have come to become the manager of the general estate of the people. Not your estate. It's not a personal estate. It's at the estate of the people. You have come to add value to the people, and you want, by the time you leave the office, the people are far from where they were. At this point, people will say, so what are you saying about our governor? I'm like, excuse me, please, I beg your pardon, don't insult me. Why do I make such a bold statement? I'm sitting down here thinking of our tomorrow. Architect Obon Victor came. He played his role. He finished. He quit the stage. I leave you and your conscience to judge how he fared. Obon Godswill Akpabio is here. He's playing his role. He's about to quit the stage. Let our consciences judge us on how he fared. The next person is going to come, play his role, and do his best, and eventually quit the stage. So, for me, I'm not wasting time on Architect Obon Victor Atta and try to compare him with the present governor. Nor am I going to now take the present governor, start to judge him and compare him with the next person. What I'm doing here, I'm saying is that, look, we had a past, it's gone. We have a present, it is going. We have a future, it's coming. How do we prepare this future such that when it is gone, and we are judging Architect Obon Victor Atta, and we are judging Obon Godswill Akpabio, and we are judging the next successor, we would say, definitely this is a progressive state. The first man scored 5. The second man has scored 6. This other one is scoring 7. The next one must score 8. We see progress. Let me tell you something. What we have today, people came and were telling me, hey, this is about this government. I told one guy, I said, shut up. He said, yeah, you've come again. I said, sir, shut up. I want to repeat what you have just said. I want to record it. And I will play it back to you 2 years after the governor has left office. If the man has done well, he has done well. You can't undo it. You don't need to shout. There was something that Yaradua did that I found very instructive. He was about to start office and they gave him an award. And he said, you haven't even seen what I've done. You are giving me an award. I think this award should come at the end of my tenure. Okay? I think that when the governor is like today, When people rate Architect Obong Victor Atta, they are rating him without sentiment. Tomorrow, people will be able to rate our governor without sentiment, without being patronizing. There are some other people are saying nonsense, the man has done nothing, and I just sit down and watch them. And I've had occasions to counter certain people. I said that you don't like a person does not mean you should be unrealistic with yourself. How can you get into where you live and say this man has done nothing? What do you want him to do? Nothing. I don't agree that the man has been God's gift to humanity, the best thing, and use all the words and superlatives and everything. I don't agree. No less do I disagree with somebody who says, of course, the man has done a lot.
All right, so quite a number of issues you've raised. We'll try to place them in perspective, and I also like to take you back to the last interview I had with you.
Yes.
When I asked you, by then we hadn't yet what was recently done. The governor called it a town hall meeting. It was a town hall meeting that was organized across the 10 federal constituencies, and at the end, the party said it had had a feel of the pulse of the people, and the conglomeration of the people's body language and their thoughts was that the governorship should go to a case in the trial districts. Now that's what the party said, the PDP in this case.
Yes.
Okay, so and that seems to have set the tone for a certain level of argument. So much so that there seems to be two sides to the argument. Some people have the opinion that it should go to a case in a trial district, and that seems to enjoy the backing of the People's Democratic Party. But others have the opinion that, hey, this thing has always been open. In 2007 it was open. In 2003 it was open. In 1999 it was open. So such people have the opinion that it should continue to be open. Now, I remember when I asked you a question on the issue of what your yardsticks for measuring who the successor to Chief Godswill Akpabio should be. You gave me certain words like merits, like capacity, like class. Given what has happened ever since, what is your position on who should succeed the governor? In addition to those names you've mentioned, who are now in the public domain.
Two things. Number one, I think that I wish you'd have a bigger platform to run programs, because you have a very articulate mind, and also you follow up your questions most intelligently.
Thank you.
So I need to give you credit for those things. But coming back to the questions you've asked, I want to thank you for that very, very good question. But no bet. There are certain things our people must understand. There have been certain trends in this country. And please, I want every Akwa Ibom person, if you hear nothing before now, hear this and hear well. There are certain trends in this country, in our political evolution, that we must learn from. It's difficult for you to explain what happened in Ekiti just a few weeks back, and the memory is still fresh. And in the next few days, Osun State is coming on stream. Politics runs at two levels. There is party primaries, and there is general election.
That's right.
Secondly, Akwa Ibom has evolved such that there was a time that one man, Don Etebet, Tuekong Don Etebet, could wield the big stick and decide where things go. At the time of Architect Obong Victor Atta, some power blocks were starting to emerge. As at today, Akwa Ibom State is such a state that you need a certain level of care and caution in doing your political calculations and dynamics. There's a certain awareness, there's a certain capacity there's a certain national and international networkings that these things have come to a point where one cannot exactly say this way and everybody goes that way, or the other way and everybody goes that way. But if you are able to manage these dynamics well, you'll be able to have your way and have your say. What are the dynamics? Number one, the politician. At the time of 1999, Architect Obon Victor Atta, there was little or nothing to fall back on. We were all coming into the fray. Architect Obon Victor Atta finished the first term. There were investors in the first term. He came into the second term. There were investors in the second term. And then Obon Godswill Akpabio came in the first term. There were investors. That is the third round. So there have been certain institutions created, certain people, certain dynamics, certain awareness. And people are sitting down and learning to call themselves politicians and understand what it means to be a politician and see how politics is being done and how politicians are being treated and what you get back in return. They've seen the trends, who sows, who reaps, and they're asking themselves certain questions. How do we handle these dynamics? And they've been asking themselves these questions silently, but once in a while they give the answer openly, publicly, and certain things happen and you're like, wow, what is that? How did that happen? Okay? For 2015, my own feeling of the pulse is that I tried to say, let us run two systems. The administrative system headed by the governor and the political system headed by the party chairman. The political system and the administrative system will be very well defined, so much so that if I was the governor, I would say hold the local government or hold the party chairman responsible. So we appoint a very good politician as the leader of the party. A grassroots politician who understands and has history of the past. Udodo Udosor was cheated in 1999. In 2007, he was cheated again, or 2005. In 2000, no, after 99 was 2003. And then 2007, he was cheated again. Then 2011, so let something be done for Udodo Udosor. The political class will feel accommodated, will feel understood, will feel appreciated, they will feel rewarded. So that the executive side faces governance. So that in the executive side, I'm looking for that man that has a capacity to move the state forward. If you go back to history, we've always had problems with transitions and management of systems. In South Africa, when the activists helped to clean out apartheid, they were rewarded with governance. An activist and an administrator are two different people. Two different people. They were rewarded activism with political office. And these people came in and they were messing up the South African economy. The Muslim Brotherhood struggled and struggled and struggled and struggled and gained power. Who did they put? A leader that was an activist but was not an administrator. How did it end? Chaos, confusion. You don't reinvent the wheel. When we come to Akwa Ibom State, we have to choose. What do we want? A politician? He will get into the office and do politics. He will be able to play. And you know, a politician is a man his priorities are different. His mannerisms, his ways, his everything, they are different. But we need a man who is going to take this state to the next level. But it must be done in such a way that you don't disenfranchise the people that have set the system. Politics is a game of interest. And the victors must be given the latitude to serve their victory. That is it. So the question is, how do we balance out these two issues that could be conflicting and not necessarily complementing? How do we do it such that the politician is acknowledged, is duly rewarded? They tried to do a thing like that in Lagos State, but it was that of convenience and not that of necessity. And it worked for a while substantially, where you had a man like Tinubu, taking care of the political side of things, and while Fashola was looking at the administrative. But you see, it wasn't a very clean arrangement. It wasn't based on certain ideologies. It was based on certain conveniences. But if we can improve on that and create it as an institution, and I say it again, I blame the politicians, because the politicians are sitting back. I need something, and I'm coming to you to beg. Or rather, I need something, but you are coming to me to beg. I've not seen the party sit down and say, yes, I need to hear you. What are you saying? What is your policy? No. The party, all of them are running to aspirants. And at what point, then when the man takes power, you know, say, hey, he's not talking to me. Why should he talk to you?
All right. When we come back from this break, it would have been Uhuru as far as today's edition is concerned, but I can urge you to join us the following day as we continue with this. So this break separates us from the next moment you see Architect Nyak-Etok's first. Please join us when we return.
You're watching the Bridge TV show on air and online.